Hey, thanks for tuning in. Today I'm not going to really go over anything as far as any tutorials or anything to that extent, but I haven't posted in a while, and I do apologize. I figure I'd give everyone an update to what I've been working on, and hopefully if it's something you want to stick around for the next couple of weeks, I should have some videos coming out. I am still waiting for some pieces and new PCBs to arrive and stuff to finish it. So I want to get into the first one. So one of my long ongoing projects has been my keypad. Now, I personally, well, one second. By the way, hope you like the shirt. My daughter made this for me, so I'm wearing it. So I'm a big fan of these keypads. They're about 20 bucks on Amazon. They come in many flavors. These are the weekend, I'm saying that right, keypads. So they come in many flavors. There's a bunch of different options you get. You can get some that just have the scan portion and not the keypad that will work with the system as well. But I do like these. Now, if you watch the Lockpicking Lawyer, or other people will tell you these are no good, don't use them. They have internal relays that triggers. You can put a magnet next to it, or just pull this off the wall, cross the wires, and open the door. Sorry, printer's making a little bit of noise. So, for that purpose, they're trash in my opinion, but we're not using it that way. So, with the system that I have made, is we have a RJ45 with a 8-pin screw terminal. So basically, you would run the wires to the screw terminal. You would run an Ethernet cable. I've tried up to 150 feet and I haven't had any issue with it. So the cable would come back to this box. And in the front, you have your terminals for your internal relay. Normally open, normally closed, common. You have a power port. You have a reader. Now, a power port is so you have two of these. You can daisy chain from one unit to another, and you can power them both off of one 12-volt power supply. Now, this I am working on currently building a system, and I know I'm going backwards, but I'm working on building a system that is completely hardwired. I'm trying to get away from wireless as much as I possibly can. Things like blinds, stuff to that extent, I think can be wireless. But if it has to do with security, doors, anything to that extent, it should be hardwired. So this does have onboard Ethernet. Now, can you change this? You can program these to use Wi-Fi instead of Ethernet? Yes. Out of the box, it's going to be ready for Ethernet. That's how it should be. So we have our normally open, normally closed for our relay. We have a power port to connect two units together. We have our reader port. And then, so anyway, and I'm working on a newer version. Newer version will actually have a buzzer on this. This is, goes right behind this, and whatever box, or however you mount this, this will be pretty close to the reader. It'll have next version will have a buzzer on it, and certain things when you go to set codes, that buzzer will beep or play a tune to let you know that you're inside of that mode. So I'm waiting for that to show up. So anyway, the way this works, and by the way, this is all built to work with Esphome, but it'll work independently from, Homeassistant. It's all based on built off the Esphome to work with Homeassistant. It'll also work, most stuff will work independent. So this will connect your ground, your power, your DO, and your D1. So basically your transmit and receive wires going back to this. So it takes your key presses, sends it back to this unit. This unit you put inside of your house, whether it's in a closet, above the ceiling, wherever you want to put it. You put it inside your house, this connects to the door. So you can put a magnet to the internal relay, you can cross the wires, manipulate the wires any way you want, and it will not open this up unless you press in the correct code. Now, this is in a new format. It's a much cleaner format. This also has a built-in 433 megahertz receiver. So you can program this to be opened with 433 megahertz remote as well. You can add and remove the remotes wirelessly without having to have access to this unit. This also does have a terminal block in the back. On the front of this, it'll have, say, bell 1, bell 2. Basically, if you have a doorbell, so this has a doorbell option. So basically, you can wire the two wires into here. It'll pass through this unit, so you can wire your doorbell your doorbell trigger into these two terminals back here, and you can utilize this to trigger your doorbell. All right, so one of the new features I've added, I do have a jack on the top, RJ45, and I'm calling that a link port. I will kind of get to that in a few moments. Another project I'm working on is this is my garage door unit. Basically, this will have connect to these guys. Utilize these. So you put this in a central location wherever you prefer it to be. Preferably, this is Wi-Fi now, so someplace close to the Wi-Fi, or where you're never going to get the best signal. And then you'll run Ethernet cables out to these. These you can tie into your door sensors for your garage door and your two bays. So this will support up to 2 garage doors. And then you would also run these to your garage door openers. And these would basically, it's a way to extend all the wires. So instead of giving a unit where you already have 20 foot of wire coming off of this to everything, it's going to come with these, and you can supply your own Ethernet cables and go whatever distance you would like. But basically, this will have open and closed for your garage, for garage side door, 2 bays. Also, it'll open and close 2 different garage doors. It also has onboard 433 megahertz receivers. It has 2 of them, so 1 per garage door. It is powered off of 12 volts as well. This is built on the backbone of Esphome, meant to work with Homeassistant, completely show up and integrate with Homeassistant. However, if you don't have Homeassistant and you're just looking, you can also control this through URL. If you're looking to install this and have the ability to open and close your garage door cheaper than you would on other solutions, that's a good option. This also has a link port in the top. I will get to that. As far as the blinds, I have completely changed how the blinds operate. I've come up with new code based on Esphome. Allows the blinds to move a little slowly. I am also attempting to be able to control 4 separate blinds with an ESP32. So I don't have the new module. I am testing out a few that are kind of makeshift to see if it'll work. I'm hoping in the upcoming weeks to have that done as well. So hoping to streamline that process. The code will be easier. The setup will be easier. Everything around that will be easier, and I'll have new updated custom PCBs for that. All right, last but not last. So I have this unit, the double stacked. You don't need the top part, just the bottom alone. This is kind of butchered. I'm waiting for a new updated one. So this will take the same ESP Ethernet chip that this uses. This does have an onboard screen. What this does is this will give you 16 GPIO for input and output GPIOs. So motion sensors, door, window, you can even anything that has an open or closed contact, you can wire this in. The top hat gives you 8 relays. So you'll have 16 inputs or outputs. You'll have 8 relays. The traces are fairly heavy. It should be able to handle the 120 volts or 220 volts at 10 amps. And there is, quite a few other onboard options with this as well. All right, last but not least with this guy is this will also have a link port as well. Now, something I am working on is, well, this unit doesn't look like much yet. I am redesigning it. I am planning on having the ability to hook this to a touchscreen. But what I'm looking for is a completely wired system. So I'm looking to be able to have one unit that will be able to control, will have access and to the zones and to the door. So basically, what you would take is on the coding in this, you break these 16 GPIO pins and relays. You break them up to separate zones, so you can have up to 4 zones. And basically, you would run a wire from this guy to this guy up to 200 feet. And you can program this to 4 different zones. So basically, I mean, what my goal is you can have this, say you have, GPIO 1 through 4, you have that set as outdoor, your outdoor exterior doors. You can have, if one of those are open, it's going to come back to this guy hardwired and let this guy know that zone 1 is open. So you'll have 4 connections between this board and each one of these, and it can support up to 4 of these. So 16 zones coming from these guys. It also has a garage port and 2 keyboard ports. The garage port that is designed to connect to this guy and connect to this. What you'll be able to do is this will relay the status of both garage bays, along with an overall zone controller for it, along with the ability to trigger both garage doors. So basically, if your whole system's down, you'll still have a hardwired system that from a Nexion screen that's on here, you'll still be able to view your complete security system along with triggering the doors. Once again, this also ties into the keypad, so you'll also be able to view the status and trigger the keypads from this as well. This does have onboard LEDs on each one of the ports, so when you plug your keypad into it, power from your keypad is going to come to here and illuminate just to let you know that you have power. All right, now it's time to go a little mobile. So with working with the Nexion screens, I've been working on a new thermostat. So this is my first prototype. It's a 5-inch touchscreen with a magnetic rotary encoder with LEDs behind this ring. So I have this set to control the volume of my surround sound. As you turn the volume up, the light gets brighter. The next version is going to have 8 LEDs, so be a little bit more unison. You can control the temperature, surround sound, right now it's programmed to stay on for a minute, surround sound, and then different things from the room, like my blinds. So west blinds, north blinds, and those are running the new code for it. Fish tank as well, and it does have an onboard relay, runs off an ESP32. I do have 2 units that utilize an Ethernet cable that is hardwired to. One's at the AC, one's at the heater. So it's controlling the heater and the AC hardwired. Once again, my goal has been to make as many systems hardwired as possible. It just takes out the failure option to keep somebody from blocking your signals. All right, so please follow along. Sorry I was just trying to get something out. Just been busy.